All right, so how does this sound for a job? You travel to exotic lands, you commune with witch doctors and psychics and seers, and maybe even chase down a few UFOs and mutilated cattle along the way.
Well, former military intelligence officer Dr. John Alexander of Las Vegas has spent a lifetime pursuing what many would call paranormal or supernatural phenomena, while at the same time still working as a defense consultant.
As George Knapp reports for Alexander, it's all in a day's work.
This picturesque ranch in northeastern Utah has emerged as one of the most intense paranormal hotspots on Earth when Las Vegas billionaire and space entrepreneur Robert Bigelow first saw the property in the mid-90s. Dr. John Alexander was with him.
Okay, I'm standing almost directly underneath where
Bigelow installed a team of scientists and investigators from his National Institute for Discovery Science on the property. And over the next several years, the team witnessed and documented dozens of high strangeness events, including daylight animal mutilations and nighttime encounters with an unknown intelligence. Alexander gave it a name.
The precognitive sentient phenomena. Something else is in control.
The study of Skinwalker Ranch continued for years, though the mystery only intensified. Getting scientists to consider the so-called paranormal activity was a victory of sorts and is one of Alexander's lifelong goals.
Part of my agenda is to make it, or assist in making it viable for serious scientists to research these things without risking their reputation, livelihood, or career.
The walls of his Las Vegas home are packed with photos and mementos from exotic adventures he and his wife Victoria have taken in pursuit of hidden realms and alternate realities. Hanging with gorillas in Rwanda, diving with whales in Tonga, advising the military in Afghanistan, communing with an African healer or Amazonian shaman one day, dining with renowned physicists Edward Teller and Hal Puthoff the next. The topics he's investigated are ridiculed, he says, in part because of what they might mean to our concept of reality.
Part of what we're discussing here is frightening to people, because if these things are real, then their belief systems are in jeopardy.
For example, near-death experiences. Alexander first learned about them as a Green Beret commander during the Vietnam conflict, when a fellow Special Forces soldier essentially died in combat but returned to his body. Alexander later earned a doctorate studying near-death experiences, as reported all over the world. He's surprised there isn't more interest among scientists and others.
You know, continuation of consciousness beyond death ought to be of interest to 100% of the population. I mean, it's something, so if you want relevance, it would be that.
While in the military, he worked with the Army's psychic spy program, the remote viewers, whose exploits were characterized in the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats.
We must become the first superpower to develop superpowers.
He also briefed Pentagon bigwigs on unknown aerial objects, UFOs, and later befriended psychic Uri Geller, whose ability to bend spoons with his mind was confirmed in lab studies sponsored by the CIA. Some of the mangled cutlery has been kept as a family keepsake. In Reality Denied, a new book about his unusual exploits, Alexander argues that all of these seemingly unrelated weird subjects might share a common link: consciousness.
I think one of the mistakes that are made in these fields is they tend to stovepipe. They delineate. I'm going to talk about UFOs, near-death experiences, psychokinesis, ghosts, whatever it is, and look at them in separation. And I think what we need to do is step back and look at them in totality. And
the first requisite for pursuing these topics, he says, a thick skin. George Knapp, 8 News Now.
Thought we'd bring you our stranger stories early tonight.
A little early tonight,
and that was good. He's no dummy, though. That guy's smart.
The spoon bending was interesting.
Yeah.
All right.